Hello, my name is Dominic Underhall and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's video we're going to be taking part in round 3 of the Underdome League. So our opponent is going to be w1tch0r, who I believe is an experienced player. They've actually won one of the community tournaments previously, and I know that they're, at least Jester thinks they're quite a good player. I've never played against them myself, so it'll be interesting to see. So, the list we've got to work with. So we've got W1tch0r as our captain, quite happy with it, still my favourite captain to use. Obviously Astra is probably the more powerful, but Zax is a really good list. We've got Drumdancer Tlalli, so we have got a 1-drop, which is useful for trying to gain a bit of early pressure. We've got Deadeye as a really solid 2-drop, which is probably going to happen a lot of the time, or alongside Rickety Backfire as the other option. With Snareling as our 3-drop, I'm probably going to rely on Rickety on turn 3. We've got these. We've also got Scattervine as an option, but that's obviously a late game choice as well. Turn 4, we're probably still going to look at W1tch0r, but again, this depends on what they're doing to come towards us. And then towards the end game, we've got Amplifier Bitol to just push out some extra damage, and yes, we have Necahual. I don't know how we're going to use it, but we have got a Necahual there somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly, I'm going to open up on the other screen the list for w1tch0r so I can have that open while I'm playing. Our flare objectives for this is, one of them is that we have to kill a unit using w1tch0r's toss ability. So we have to toss a unit to death, and the other one is we have to win a game with 3 units left on our bridge. The interesting thing about that is that we can put them back on our bridge with Necahual, so we might actually have a reasonable chance of doing that. So for now, I'm going to save this, I'm going to bring up the list on the other screen, and I'll see you in the game. If you've enjoyed this, please do hit that like button, subscribe button, join the channel in some way or another, and let me know in the comments if you'd have played these games differently to me. And I'm really hoping we can keep our unbeaten record going. I'd love to still be 3 wins for 3 matches, and we'll just see how it goes from there. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so over at the Patreon as well. The link is in the description down below. We've got both Pax and Drafimara, who have been incredible supporters. I'm really, really grateful to have both of you on there so far, so thank you to that. And if you want to join them, the link's down there. And like I said a moment ago though, for now, I'll see you in the game. Okay, so we are loading into our first game versus w1tch0r. On the other monitor here, I've got w1tch0r's list, so they have got an Astra list, and it's not one that I'm too worried about, thankfully. So we've got they've got W1tch0r, Taria, Toxoid, Defense Stone, Quetzali, Bulwark, Aegis Sentinel, and Ursix Scattervine. So they've actually got a very low damage list, so there's a good chance that we can actually try and compete on that front. What have we got here? So Escape Hatch, with our most expensive list units being not great. I think we probably want Corrosive and Disruptor here. Ion Storm and Stowaway are decent, but Disruptor's fantastic and Corrosive's really good as well. And this lets us play quite aggressively forwards as well. So what I'm thinking of actually here is maybe even saving up our... Oh, they're going first, so we got second wind. That's great news for us. So, okay, so with that, I'm not going to necessarily play it safe turn 1 then. I am going to deploy things because we've got potentially a 4-drop or 2 2-drops, which is most likely coming early on. So there's no reason not to try and place a Tlalli down fairly aggressively. And I think we just want to put the pressure on as quickly as we can, especially having Disruptor Beam as well. So I do feel okay with this. Looking at their list, so what could come down here is... they've got 4 Cinder, so a W1tch0r could easily come down here, which is not something we want to see. And the way that Corrosive has been changed, it means we can't really push our way through it very easily. But we're most likely going to want to try and go for Captain damage early on. This to me looks like they're going to maybe try and deploy a Taria here. Oh, they've got Plink. Okay, so Plink's obviously very powerful. And a second Cinder Orb. Interesting. So this is where a second Disruptor Beam would have been a huge difference here. So we obviously have to push here. We wouldn't even mind if this knocks them into the orb. It does, perfect. So we can bring this round here. We're going to use second wind, and then I'm going to go for exactly what I said a moment ago, but it 2 2-drops. And I'm actually going to deploy Deadeye over here, and I'm going to hopefully try and deploy Rickety just behind it. Make it very hard for them to get to Rickety, but with Disruptor next turn, there's a reasonable chance we can actually get on top of them. And, ooh, they got Escape Hatch. Oh, it was Quetzali. Okay, so Quetzali we can take out fairly easily. Even actually with Tlalli quite likely next turn. And they're now a little bit stuck. Not hugely stuck is the problem. Yeah, so Astra coming here is pretty awkward. We probably just have to push for damage in this direction. Yeah, and the plink. So here I imagine something gets into the breach to kill this. I don't think they've got anything we're particularly worried about. So I'd probably enter the breach of Chuck if I were them. And just get that onto the battlefield as quick as possible. So what this tells me though, looking at their things, is that I need to basically be playing the range damage game. Yeah, so they're going to just attack this and kill it with Chuck. That is absolutely fine. So I actually think maybe we should be looking to kill W1tch0r here and just limit their movement. They have got 2 Cinder, they can play Taria. Okay, yeah, so there's Chuck. And Chuck can go again if they want. So with Chuck actually coming this far forward, we can potentially look for a bit of damage here. Okay, what do we want to do? We've got Snareling, we've got Corrosive. So Deadeye can just come in here and hit that. Or we can try and take their Cinder out, but I think the important part is not blocking things out. So I think this is what we need to do. Of course we miss. So I actually think now we're going to hit here. I feel very concerned as to what we can do here. Because without being able to kill... Okay, you know what we could potentially do? Okay, because we don't have spare Cinder, we're going to release Ozus here. And we're going to do something kind of risky. Well, not risky, but we're going to just pop this over here. I'm going to go for this shot, even though it's not a good one. And I'm actually just going to sleeper mine Chuck away. Sorry, push Chuck away from us. We're not deploying anything on purpose. This is intentional. It's not a mistake here. We're making a choice here. We want to force them to come out and deal with Rickety, because they're going to have to spend almost all of their Cinder here to deal with it. Now the problem is they can just into the reach Taria, but we're trying to slow things down. Yeah, so there's Taria, but not with haste. So what have they got here? Okay, so they're just going to go for the Toxoid. But if they go for Toxoid, okay, that with Plink, yeah. But Toxoid does actually survive here if they go for that. Yeah, no, I think we're in a pretty tough spot. Yeah, that was a bad disruptor. That didn't put us in any better of a spot whatsoever. We're going to have a lot of Cinder next turn. So I actually think maybe here we just start rushing the captain, depending on what they deploy around us. So we know W1tch0r's gone from them. Okay, so there's the Sentinel, so that's fine. We knew that was going to be something we'd have to deal with at some point, but they don't have a way of moving it. So it might just be that we grav disc away and run around the corner, and then that's very frustrating. Okay, so if we just poke this first, we can move around the corner here. We can shoot here. Okay, we got a nice crit this time. Now, what do we want to deploy? We could go for our own Chuck here. I actually think we need to grav disc away from this. So I think that's a solid choice no matter what, is grav disking in this direction. Try and stay out of line of sight of this. I'm not sure if we actually have managed that, but it's a possibility. Now, where do we want our own Chuck to go? I think if we put our own Chuck back here, it's relatively safe. We'll gain our additional Cinder, and then I don't think we can place a good sleeper mine here that sort of really blocks them off without putting it in range of coming back to us. So I think we just pass the turn here. We've got 7 next turn. We're in a reasonable spot. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to happen with the Sentinel. So we can just stay out of the Sentinel's game plan now. So looking at their list, their remaining damage, they've got Bulwark, Chuck, and Toxoid, and that's the... So Bulwark and Toxoid are the only damaging units they still have access to. So if we can kill Chuck and Toxoid, this might even be a turn where we just really run away with Deadeye and try and keep that alive. Yeah, that's good for us. So they could... I don't think they're going to be in range to Toxoid us, is the thing. So what's this going to be? This could be... probably Bulwark. Okay, this is where Plink's going, because they're obviously wanting to deal with that. Yeah, so we just need to keep that safe. But if we've actually got enough damage to kill Chuck now, and I think they're going to really struggle to actually deal enough damage to take us out. If they don't deploy Toxoid with haste, I think we're in a great spot. Okay, so Nectavine's going to heal. So now we don't have the damage without playing Bitol, but we do have enough to play Bitol. So, given that they're so far away, I think this is the right call. Because they're at 5, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 damage here, if we play Bitol in the correct spot. So Bitol just needs to go about here. What we do need to do is make sure we don't push out of Chuck's range. But that should still be fine. So this can go over here. We'll bring Deadeye down in this direction. No. Are you kidding? We've... Fine. We actually have to toss our own unit here. Oh, brilliant. We're stuck twice. Okay, he can move. That's fine. Okay, this is working out okay. It's not the end of the world. And that's not an ideal situation. This might even be where Necahual comes in handy. I think we've managed to block off the Toxoid here, and they don't have a good follow-up for it. So that's their main damage dealing unit down. This is going to be difficult, because the difficult part is how we kill them. Like, we can just slowly work our way onto these things, and that's not an issue. We just need to find a way to kill them past the Sentinel. Yeah, Sentinel's in a terrible spot. We can just deal with that however we want to. You know what we might actually be able to do? Oh no, we're going to be just short of... Oh no, we can. We can actually kill the Nectahual with a toss. And that's probably worth it for our flare point almost, if we can just run back again. Escape hatch, this is going to be... Okay, that's their Bulwark, so that's going to now be dead. Because we're going to kill that. Like, there's no world in which we don't try and kill that, pretty much. It's going to be in range of this, because... Okay, so there's Defense Dome, that's fine. So they've got their little combo up. Got the Rapid Fire. I don't think this is going to be too risky. Yeah, they're going for Bitol. Oh, they could hit this. It's a low chance, though. It's essentially wasting damage if they do. Okay, that's fine. Get the Plink. Yeah. So this is going to heal up too. Interesting that they didn't move away. So I think what we want to do here is just push like this. This gives us pretty good angles, I think. Gets the dome as far away as it can be. We can move onto Astra in this direction, so we probably want to Ozos ourselves. And then the question is, can we get a good line of sight onto that? No. Where can we? So if we move this back to here, go for this for that line of sight there. 97, pretty decent. And then we'll come up forward for this. Oops, I just misclicked there. 77, should have this. Perfect. This should still be mostly out of range. But what we can do here... I'm actually going to deploy Necahual here. And honestly, I think I'm just going to hit with Chuck. And bring out a Snareling as well. So Chuck's our sort of sacrificial lamb here, but they've only got one unit left, and if I remember rightly, it's Toxoid. So the only thing they can do is put down a Toxoid here. Yep, so they can haste it, but what's it going to go for? Probably Snareling? Yes, I mean, they have to go for Deadeye. 35. It's better than nothing. Okay, yeah, they got it. So that's something we knew was quite the possibility here, but the thing is I don't know how they actually beat us. Because with Toxoid being the only damage left, we can just stay at distance with this and then chip them away as long as we don't use straight up die. We can even just bring things back to our hand and put it back again, and we've got Scattervine to finish them off with Bitol potentially. Okay, so this is it already into the breach? Yeah, they have. Okay, so they can just kill Bitol here is fine. So we deal one, but then we die, that's fine. So we just need to use multiple things here to kill this. The question is actually, yeah, we do have enough damage, because we can pop this over here. And then we'll just move in with these. Because we can stay away from that, I think we're in a great spot. In fact, they don't have any movement capabilities here. So if we just take shots, they can't actually move anywhere. So we can just push damage in there. We'll just toss over that direction. And then what do we want to do? We can just pop a sleeper mine down over there because there's nothing they can do about it. And then we have only got 3 crews, so we could just start trying to get damage in. And I don't think we're going to do much more than corrosive particles this. So we'll just hit that, move that direction, grow there, hit that, and move this direction, and then end the turn from here. Okay, so they're going to need to find a way back over towards their little defensive posture, but I think we're in a really good aggressive spot here. So what we could even do is just start recalling units back to our bridge. Yeah, so that doesn't do anything. Oh no, they can plink it so that this doesn't die. Yep, they can only hit their own captain with that. That's what we wanted. So there's a good chance we actually Snareling down here next turn. But honestly, we probably just Snareling this once it takes some damage. Because they could plink it, I suppose. But then they can't plink anything else. Yeah, I think there's a world in which we could get the lethal in the next couple of turns. Because we've got 3 range damage here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can't quite get enough vine damage in, I don't think. Maybe if we tossed one. Okay, so Astra's going to hope for some crits, maybe. Yeah, Defense Dome's going to be out of range. This can't move, which is the good thing. Yeah, and they can blink it to death, that's fine. So we will steal that Cinder Orb and just try and Snareling them, I imagine. Because that takes 2, yeah, so we need to do a couple of damage to this. So I actually think our correct play here is to even just come in and poke that for 2. We missed. Okay, well we go for the 99 here then. Interesting. That changes things slightly. I can't believe we missed that shot. So what do we do now then? We could grav disc these together. And we could try and just hit here and take some damage on, put some damage onto them. And then, but then we're going to take a bunch back, but not enough. Yeah, I think we just keep putting pressure on. And we'll just grow over this direction. Over here. Grow into range of this. Hit it. Move back here. Gain 2 more Cinder. And paste another Sleeper Mine back that direction. Because we can also just evacuate Chuck if we need to. So they don't have enough damage to really chip through Chuck here whatsoever. So I actually think we've almost guaranteed got this. We've got Disruptor as well, so we can actually move back into range. I could see a world in which they could hop, kill a Vine, and hop again. That could work. If they like shot this, hopped Astra here, rapid fired, like then killed this and jumped into range of the healing. That could slow us down a bit, but again, so they can blink that if they want. But I don't really know where else they're going to go here. Yeah, so you're just going to try and take out a Vine. Yeah. This is why we made multiple Vines. Make it as easy as possible to keep applying damage. Okay, yeah, they're just going to kill that one and leave Chuck in range of this, which does put us at the point where we could potentially just start working on lethal. So the only thing we really need to worry about is just keeping out of range of that. So I don't see a world in which we lose this now. Because if we kill the plant, then we've pretty much got it. So is there any point in taking a risk here? Not really. So let's go. Can we actually just kill Astra? Probably not. Maybe we can just kill Taria. This might just push them out of range. There we go. So I'm not taking any risks here. I'm taking this shot. We'll grow over here. I've got the crit there anyway, which is nice. We'll grow into here. Yeah, okay, so I think Witcher realised that there was anywhere really to go from there. It was going to be a really long drawn out game getting to that finish. We could clear out all of their damage, we could stay out of range of this, and literally just with Zax and Snareling, we could take them down from long range because Astra can't kill me quick enough to do anything about that. So, that is... Ooh, we're very close to levelling up Deadeye. That is round 1. That went well for us. Again, second win played a big part of this. I'm very glad that's leaving the game. But we didn't get any of our objectives done here, so it's time to jump into the second game and see if we can do this any differently. And make sure I click private. And hopefully it'll be another good one. So Witcher, obviously a very talented player, so they definitely knew what they were doing. They were able to sort of take me into difficult positions. They played really well with what they've got. I don't think I'd have played as well with Witcher's list as they did. So we were just able to grind it out in that case though. So we are hoping to go second again. And let's see what we get once we get the assists. I mean, Stimburst and Plink seems really good for us. We can be quite aggressive with that. And I don't think we need to worry as much about Disruptor because we've got the Zax ability. Yeah, we're going second again, so this is a really good spot for us. However, this time with Stimburst, we might be able to put some earlier pressure on and start really chipping damage in early. If they head towards us, yeah, so this I actually don't know if he's even correct. So we could actually try and push onto that, but... Okay, so they've got Plink as well, so they're going for the race. We do have an angle onto their Cinder. So I think we're... Is there an angle we can get onto their Cinder without getting one back from Astra? There is. But we are the aggressor in this, aren't we? And we've got more Cinder, so... But they have got Plink, so let's just not take the risks. Let's go for this and try and take 50-50 to take that out. We missed, which is pretty awkward, but it's fine. It is what it is. I feel like they're still going to place things this direction, so we're just going to be going for a rush in this respect. So they can get 4, which is probably going to be Chuck and Co. Okay, so they've hit both 50% so far. We haven't hit either. Which is, again, not ideal, but it is what it is. This might be a Stimburst. Like a Stimburst turn. We could actually get in range of that potentially. And with 4 Cinder as well, we can just deploy quite aggressively. Okay, if this is Chuck, then that's fine. We just run away from Chuck and start trying to plink them back. Okay, so they're deploying 1. Interesting. So, I definitely think we actually want to stim burst here. I don't know if we can quite get in range yet. We're just short here, but that's fine. So, because what we want to do is just be able to deploy aggressively towards them. So this is a much better shot for us, and we've still got our plink in effect. We're going to gain additional cinder. So last time we played our lower drops, but here we could actually consider just playing chuck, because they're going to have to move something over there if they want to. And I think this just applies a bit more pressure onto them. They can't move anywhere that we can't get to them with a decent shot. So they can into the breach their own chuck here, deal another 2 damage. Or they can move over here and play something bigger. But I think, honestly, we're probably just trying to rush them down here. Okay, so that's just probably jumping over there. Yep, that's fine. So, this turn it would have actually been better to play our range units, unlike last time, but who knows with these things. Okay, that is fine by us, because we can just potentially even just flick them into that. There's Taria, yeah. So I actually think maybe we even move towards Taria. It's figuring out what to do with Tlalli is quite awkward here, because there's not much we really want to play. Like, we can chuck them into it, which is fine, I guess. It's not great. It just slows them down slightly. So what lines of sight can we get with this? I don't even hate this. So we'll just take the shot here. I mean, this is one of those things that really just falls apart to a Necahual is the problem. But we can just... We don't have anything that costs 5. Tossing it doesn't get them far enough, that's really awkward. Okay, so we want to come into here, force them again to use their cinder. Given that we've moved as far forward as we can, though, we don't have anything to plink. Oh yeah, we can plink this back to health. It's probably just bringing in Deadeye, isn't it? But maybe somewhere safer? No. We're just going to bring Deadeye forwards. It'd be greedy to do anything else, and we're just going to have to go for, I think, damage. I don't know how else we're going to do this. I feel like their positioning is great in these games. Like, this is a really, really good spot to be in for, like, for them. They're just short of killing our things, is the thing. So we can keep applying this pressure. Hopefully get Rickety somewhere into range next turn. Yeah, so with this, they can move Astra and get in damage. But we can put damage onto Chuck, which obviously they can place the healer. Yeah, this is guaranteed hit. They can just hop back again, which is what I'd do. Unless they've got... No, they don't have a good Into the Breach 2-drop. Ah, but they could have an Into the Breach Toxoid here. It would be good. If they could Toxoid kill our Deadeye. Yeah, I think we're pretty much shoehorned into going aggressively immediately. Because this could be Toxide, Deadeye, Rapid... I've only got... Oh yeah, because they got Toxoid to Plink again, yeah. Yep, so this is going to take us out. With the Plink, there we go. And then where's Toxoid going? Okay. So this is fine because we can just kill Toxoid. Like, I'm okay with that. Because we've got 1, 2, and then 2 from Scattervines, and then a Plink. And I think that's the right thing to do here. So we can just straight away hit this. We could have hoped for a crit there, would have been nice, but it is what it is. You pop this down. So the important thing to remember here is to grow first. So we'll hit and get taken back down to 1. We'll move over here. Then we'll plink it. Hit again to get that one done. Move out this way. We can still move in these directions, which is good. I do think we need to start figuring out how we want to go about killing them. So this is just an awkward situation, but I think it's right. What do they have? They've only got 6 in the next turn. Do they have anything big left that can deal with this? No. So I'm actually just going to put Rickety down here and try and move block them. And just go for pushing damage out next turn. Because if Rickety lives, they don't have that much damage. And if we can get Rickety to live, we can play Bitol next turn and just throw damage at them fairly rapidly. Although they can, yeah, they can do this. I didn't think about that. But we've got, oh no, because we've got Stim Burst, so we could still do this. There's a good chance Rickety can get into that gap over there. Yeah, that's fine. So we just push on the captain damage, I think. Okay, and what's coming here? Is this a... I was about to say Ion Storm, yeah, I've not seen one in a while. Okay, that's good. For them, that is, not for me. But good nonetheless. Yeah, there's the Necahual. Okay, so now we have to try and heal our Chuck somehow. The toss doesn't matter, but they can then move. Yeah, so this rush plan isn't going to work, so we need to just try something completely different now, because we need to kill that Necahual. We are just out of range, so let's get a nice big Stim Burst going. So hopefully this works. It does not. Okay. So I'll pop this attack down here, 35%. Missed that as well. Good, it's going well. They don't have enough damage to kill this yet, so I honestly almost feel like we have to go for it, but I think it's a bad idea. I think we need to just hide our guy for now. I think we're playing Snareling. I think we're playing it somewhere like here. And then I think we're actually just growing one of these. They don't have enough Cinder to do a few things and activate, so I guess we could toss Necahual that way. Don't know if it really does anything. It stops them getting to us, actually. That I'm going to do this on the grounds that it makes it harder for them to hit me. So I'm just going to keep moving this way. I didn't plink anything. I should have plinked this. A few mistakes this game. Not as happy with it. So I get the feeling that we're going to be on the back foot for a lot of this. But we have got a really strong position potentially next turn, given that we can play Amplifier Bitol and use Grav Disc, so we might be able to get Rickety into range of something useful. But it's going to be tight. Which has got a lot of things to think about. So looking at their remaining roster, we know Toxoid's down, Tari's on the battlefield. It's only Bulwark and Sentinel that they've got left. So whether or not either of those can do any damage, because this could be... So they've got Dome, Quetzali, Bulwark, Sentinel. I don't think they've got enough to haste one, because they're both too expensive for that. So I don't think this matters too much. Okay. So that might be the big mistake here. Okay, they're going to play something behind us. They're behind them here. Oh, they can play it. Oh, because they'd already used it. Yeah, so they're going to hit this, and then Rickety's going to be gone. Unless they get a very lucky... Oh my goodness, that is the luckiest miss. That should not have happened. I will be honest on that front. So the thing here is I think we just have to try and kill their damage output. I think we have to do the same thing again. Just kill the damage output. So we're going to deploy Bitol about here. Just get this hit in. Where can we... So tossing that doesn't do anything. So we're only 46% on that. Oh, this is actually very awkward. What if we moved... I actually think that's going to be able to hit us, so I think we have to just... Really, everyone's missing right now. So our Scattervine also has to run away, so that we can run away. We want to just be up at this point. We've got like a 92 over there, an 83 over there. I think we have to go for maybe even Nectarvine, which I don't like. Oh, that crit's big. That means we can do this. We'll just toss that for damage then. Not feeling good about this still. We're still not in a great spot. They can almost definitely kill Rickety now, is the shame. But we did get a good amount of damage out. But the thing is, they might want to kill this, and they've still got a Sentinel, Quetzali, and a Defense Dome. So I think I'm in trouble. Yeah, so this kills oh no, it kills Chuck. Okay. So they've got 2 damage here, then Plink, yeah, so Rickety's dead. Funnily enough, this could just come down to us trying to take over the board with Scattervine, but then I don't know how we ever beat their turrets. Yep, so this is a Plink and then an easy hop away. Yeah, they can hop wherever they want to. So this is them going to be trying to block us in. Yes, there's the Sentinel. So the question is, how do we want to do this? What's this? Oh, they're hopping forward. Okay. So we're in a difficult spot, basically. There's no two ways about that. We get one good turn of dealing damage. So how close do we need to be to get Zax into range? There, but can we get one in here and still leave space for a Scattervine? I'm not sure, but I think we have to just start doing it. So then we'll grav disc this as far away as we can. Start sending damage in every direction. So we just need to hit here, move this way, growth here, move that way, this can just move up there. I actually think we stim burst and just run this away. Oh, we're going to be in range no matter what. So what if we go here? This should be safer. Pop the Sleeper Mine down. And Plink, I guess. And just get Zax to run. I don't feel good about any of this. Like, we're rushing them down. But the question is that enough? Yeah, so they can't get all of our vines, which is kind of what we're hoping here. Is to save at least one vine. They're going to kill over here. Because we can just keep throwing vines at them. I think eventually we'll get enough vines in to do enough damage to kill them if we can keep out the distance. Maybe? Oh, this has... we could have had one more damage here. Yeah, so this has to kill here. But they still have enough to kill Bitol, which is a shame. Yeah, we need something to go really... oh, they can't reach. So they can toss it, but they can't kill it. So that might actually be the deciding factor. Yeah, this has got to be an Ion Storm. There's no sense not doing that. And then if they place like a Quetzali directly in front of it... oh no, they don't have any Cinder left. And they can't move anywhere else. So where's the aura here? Okay, not quite in range of that, but maybe if we move down it will be. We could be on track here. Okay, so we'll move down here. Go for this. That's a crit. That could be what we need. Not a good shot, but it's a shot. So we lost that one, but what we can do is grow over here. Move into range. Yeah, there we go. We should have this if we can get one more into range. We've got it. What a series of games these were. W1tch0r is a great opponent. So we've got one more we can play. Whew, I did not think I was going to be able to come back from that. I honestly thought we were in so much trouble, but yeah, this Bitol living that turn was a huge deal. I think killing that instead of killing Snareling was probably the better choice, but my goodness, that had me really stressing there. That was brutal. So let's go for the last one. So now we need to go for our flare objectives. The problem is, for one of them we need to win. So the only one I'm going to really push for is getting Chuck out. But again, we got second wind both of the first two games, and that's a huge advantage. I don't think it's fair. Like, I think we lose this without second wind. So now medical recall. Okay, so this is, stay with me here. I'm going to pick this because medical recall puts something back to my bridge, and I can try and get both flare objectives here. It also gets rid of some of my worst units. Okay, so this turn I am going first. So can we get a good angle on anything? Not really. So let's just go for the best we can get. 15%. Okay, no. This time I'm just not going to play Tlalli. It's not doing anything. It's been a waste. I'm actually probably going to try and turn her into a 2-drop. Yeah, so they're going to run away. Place down a little Cinder Orb. If it's one that I could shoot, I will shoot it. Yeah, because they're going to have 6 Cinder next turn, which is a monstrosity. So we've got a -14 there, I think I saw. -17. So that puts us at 24. Yeah, we're not going to take a 24% shot. Okay, that's not ideal. Honestly, I'm just going to stow away Tlalli. It's no use. It gives us a Tantan. Tantan's decent, but we're just going to pop Deadeye back here. And save our Cinder. This means we can play something like Chuck out, but again, I think we're going to go for Rickety Scattervine. Okay, there's the second wind. So, whatever this is, it's going to have to be Chuck. Yeah, so this is going to be Chuck and Taria, I imagine. We're just going to need to deal damage from afar initially, because we can't do anything about Chuck straight away. But the other side of things, we don't know what their assists are, so weirdly enough, in this situation, I'm actually more afraid of Bulwark than I am of anything else. So, I think that sounded like a miss, which isn't ideal. Yeah, it's definitely a miss. Can't hit that, so yeah, we got something now. So we could Rickety, but again, I think it's just deploying aggressively, because now they have to put something next to our Chuck, basically. So our Chuck is going to be, because if they want to take that Cinder, something has to be here. So they could deploy there, but they can't do anything much with it. If they don't, we get to keep the Cinder. So maybe their Chuck could move over here and take it. That's pretty reasonable. But we're going to keep pressuring the opponent. But we really want to kill a unit with Chuck. Okay, yeah. So what are they going to deploy? A 6-drop. So this is going to have to be the Bulwark or Sentinel. I was going to say. Not sure which, but it was one of them. Cinder Infusion. Okay. So we don't have a good line of sight here. So that's genuinely going to be the biggest thing for me to try and deal with, is that. So, first of all, I don't think we want Tantan. I just don't think that's the right play. Crankbait might work. In fact, Crankbait's probably better than some of the things we've got. Right, so on that note, I actually think I Ozos this and then go to hide. Sorry, not Ozos, then hide. Hide. And then play this, and then Ozos. Here we're going to move down to... because they can move is the thing we need to remember. So I actually think just moving forwards, keeping us safer. And then maybe just playing our Crankbait back here. Them not knowing we have medical recall is such an information advantage for us. Because we can just keep pulling Astra or their Sentinel out into range of us, and we do really want that Sentinel dead. We can deal, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage at the moment. So without a couple of crits we can't kill it yet, but we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, so they're going to go over here, which is fine, because they're going to try and just push damage somewhere. They have to, there's no other option. Okay, so they are going to go for something. I imagine this might be, say, a Toxoid or something here to try and take out Crankbait, or if they go for this, we're just going to send everything into killing the turret over the next couple of turns, and maybe even move out, shoot, and pull ourselves back again. Yeah, that's fine. This could be the thing that we kill with Chuck. Are they going to toss our crankbait? That would be weird if they tossed the crankbait. Okay, yeah, their last deployment. Oh, sorry, not last deployment. Well, not last deployment. It's not a last deployment at all. Okay, so now we can run onto this. Or in fact, what I think we even do is toss that away, move crankbait around here and pull. Because crankbait can potentially get, if we move Chuck out of the way, that is. So we're going to have an inefficient Cinder turn with the intention of doing things that help the game. Yeah, so that works. Where can crankbait potentially get to? Like that sort of angle. So I'm just going to run up here. Can we see the plant? Actually don't know if we can. I feel like this is the angle to go for it. Yeah, we can. That's great news. So hit the plant, and we're just going to come in for more plant damage. Oh, if we get this, actually, I'm willing to go all in for this, just to get. We got it. We got it. Oh no, we've tossed already. We've tossed already. We need to keep Chuck alive. Let's deploy something. Oh no. You know what? Let's sacrifice Rickety in exchange for the Chuck. And they can't kill Chuck anyway. We'll put Snareling down over here. Because Snareling's terrifying. We just want Chuck to last one turn for this. Because this is only 4 damage. So they don't actually have enough to kill our Chuck, and we can still hit the plant. Following turn we can move on to this, especially because we've got Bitol coming. We can just start pushing that damage through, and then we can't play any more units, or we need to recall them. We'll start swapping and changing things around. Scattervine's good for this. So what's this going to be? Okay, yeah, so there's the rapid fire. They are going for Chuck. Wait, so what do they have left that can do 2 damage? What? They've... yeah. Oh, was that it? Yes, they went for Snareling. Okay, that's good. That's good. We get the kill with this. This is what we wanted. Sure. Oh, that's great. Yep, Toxoid flies away. Oh no, don't... Boo. So now we can just recall Chuck. So we're going to just go for damage here, flick it away somewhere again, and recall Chuck. But again, this is all coming down to us being able to reduce their damage output. And so I think what we really want to do is actually just deal with that. So with 6 Cinder, we can just go for a bunch of damage. But weirdly, I think the best thing to do is to do some sort of killing Tari of that. So Toxo can get all the way out there. So what if we go to here? We'll deploy Bitol somewhere out of Toxoid range, so just past that line there. This seems safe. We'll go for some damage on this. This needs to hit. Okay. Then this is a hit. And we can start... so we can pop some damage onto this. Get damage here. And we can medical recall our Chuck back. The question is, do we want to get rid of our Scattervine? And I actually think the answer is probably no. It's been so good for us in these games. So we've got rid of Taria. We can deal with this next turn. We're probably wanting to avoid Chuck doing stuff for now. Like, I think they can probably find a way to take this out, but... Again, I think this just comes down to a high damage list versus a low damage list. We've got a lot of damage output and they just don't. Okay, yeah, so... Oh wow, the big crit. That was huge. That actually changes the entire damage race. I mean, it doesn't really, because we can come over here and take this out, but that is a big, big crit. That means that Chuck no longer has to come here. He can come down to hit Deadeye and go for that front. That's a pretty good turn there. So I don't know if we're going to be able to win the game with enough units on our bridge is the problem. Okay, they could just be pushing for pressure. Yeah. Yeah, they're just going for us. Maybe this looks like they're going to box us in as well, actually. So the interesting thing about that is we can actually just pull things out and try and go for odd angles. But I think this is the right play from Witcher. It's to block us in place. Yeah, and try and stop us. Although I don't know if it's defense dome. I think I'd have put the sentinel. Because if you put the sentinel down there, what am I going to do? Okay, so we've got a bunch of cinder. So how do we minimise damage here? Realistically, they're going to have 10, so they 9-8. They can play everything they need to next turn and activate. So maybe this is just a hide and seek turn. So we'll take that and then run away. Ozos and shoot there. Go for the best shot we got. Perfect. And then what we want to do is deploy our Chuck somewhat defensively, but we need it to be... Do you know what we can do? We can place Chuck here, so it's on this for next turn, and then we might even be able to find an angle to place a mine that doesn't just get flung straight back in our face like that. That mine doesn't come back at us, and they don't have a movement assist. Still think I'm happy with these units here. So if we live to next turn, we get our first player point. There is a chance we can make our second. This is fine because it puts the mine somewhere we're actually happy to have it. Like, they might be able to kill it, but they've got 2 units left, and it's Quetzali and Sentinel. So if we can just take enough off the board first, we could be alright here. This we need to kill. Like, this has to go down next turn. Yes, this is probably a grav disc away, move around, crankbait away sort of situation. It just depends where they... Oh no, maybe not even that. Okay. So they're just blocking us right in. What's funny about this is we actually can't kill this. So I think we're just going for the flare point. I don't want this to be what we have to do, but I don't see how we do this any other way. They can kill the mine as well, in fact. Yeah, there's worlds in which we can do this, but I don't think we've got a reasonable chance. Yeah, I think here we've lost this. We just have to take the flare point and call it a day. I genuinely was trying my hardest to win this as well. So, we just want to pull the dome as far as possible. I mean, ideally it would be nothing else, but dome as far as it gets. We can toss this for a flare point. What if... Is there a way we can get the Sentinel out of line of sight? No, not really. Well, let's grapple this. Are you kidding? That's not going to move. That doesn't look like that's where that is. That looks... What? No. Okay, I'm not having that. I'm going to blame Mar for that one. That's my free blame Mar. Oh, that is fine. It's fine. We'll pop out our Actually, no. We'll end the game with 3 units on the bridge. We can't win. I mean... We'll just move into here. In fact... Haha, take a mine with you. Okay, we'll let... I was gonna say we'll let them have it. We're not letting them have anything. We're trying to win this, which has absolutely played this game beautifully. But the funny thing is, every single game was won by whoever got second wind. So as much as I'd like to say I think I did well and all that sort of thing, I think I did do well in my games, but I think I'd have lost if I didn't have second wind. And I think in this one, if Witcher had been, say, I think it was 6 Cinder behind where I was, I think I'd have been with a pretty fair chance. So really glad it's going, but really good games. Witcher definitely knows how to play. These are really, really great ones. So again, with 3 wins at least, so it's our first actual lost game of the league, but 3 wins overall. So that's really awesome. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Drop in the comments below if you think it was all second wind, or if you think there was any involvement in there whatsoever. If you want to follow the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, or you can join us down on Patreon at the bottom. But most importantly, thank you for watching and have a good day.